Well, Dave, congratulations, 8 wins in a row and top of the league now. How does that feel?
It feels great on the back of not a very good performance, but at times this season we'll have to find a way, and we've found a way tonight. And if we can be really disappointed with the performance we've put in, take 3 points, score 3 goals and not concede, granted probably through a little bit of luck tonight, which we've not had to have over previous games, but it's, like I say, it's a good ending to the night. Leaves us in a really good position, a position we want to make sure that we're in April and May, and hopefully that's the case.
0-0 at the break. It was a scruffy first half. As you say, you were probably lucky to go in 0-0. What did you say though at half time to turn things around like that?
Probably a few years ago I'd have been bouncing off the walls and things. There were a few home truths given, but I don't think in an overly aggressive manner. I've been a lot worse. For me, even the second half, I don't think we were great. But the difference between the first half and the second half was the intent that we showed. So we had an opportunity to score after 22 seconds of the second half. We didn't have that in the first half. I thought we played like a team, and I think there was a bit of an atmosphere in the ground of a team where we expected that we've been playing well and expected that it's going to be not easy all the time, but we should roll teams over. And there was a little bit of nervousness, and I think the players' nervousness then transmits into the stand and into the terraces, and we make some poor decisions, and we don't recognise the way forward. Sometimes when that's the case, you have to simplify the game, and ultimately you need the people that are here watching, brilliant crowd, on a cold Tuesday night, to be behind us. But I've said before, we've got to keep them in the game and get them in the game. You don't get them and keep them in the game by messing around with the ball back here and not playing forward. And what we want to do, as much as we might want to play from the back, we're certainly not going to play at the back. That's not what the instruction is. So if we have to play beyond the press, or we have to get the ball forward and put the ball in areas which ultimately means that we get the ball into the 6-yard box, into the penalty area, that's where we're going to score our goals. That's where we score a real large proportion of our goals. We didn't do that in the first half, and in the second half, although it wasn't massively fluent, we showed an intent, and that intent got us opportunities, gets us a goal, and then all of a sudden there's a bit of relief that the shackles are off a little bit. And like I say, from our perspective, what's a pretty ordinary performance based on what we have produced. We've scored 3 goals, and like I say, we've picked up 3 points against the team that have, in their last 2 games, defeated the 2 teams that were initially above us in the table. So, like I say, take loads of positives from it, and learn from it, because hopefully as the season progresses, we're going to have some games that are high tension. And I've been here as an opposition manager, and what you want to try and do is make this a nervous place. What we've got to do as a home team and as a home manager is make sure this place doesn't become a nervous place. And in those times of adversity, and to be fair, the supporters really stayed with us in that second half, but those things in the first half, that's when we really need them. They're the moments I've spoken about around. Again, I hope we don't, but the likelihood is we'll concede the first goal here at some point. That's when we need them.
It's very interesting. You've mentioned the crowd a lot there, and you mentioned it as if you were preempting it, because you mentioned it in your programme notes as well. You said you wanted Edgley Park to be bouncing tonight, and it certainly wasn't in the first half, was it? But you're saying that was down to the lack of intensity on the pitch.
That's us. Like I've said that since I've come in, and it was the same at my previous club. We go from what can be at times a difficult place to play home games if you're not at it, and when you've been, I suppose, not successful over quite an extended period of time, it can become a glass half empty sort of place and atmosphere. We've got to get beyond that and realise that if the 5, 6, 7, hopefully 8, 9, 10,000 people that are in here are behind us, then it's a difficult place to play. Not just, like I've said in my programme, it's not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. It becomes an intimidating atmosphere, and that's what we'll need, because, like I say, away from home, we've picked up results through the whole season. Even before I was here, the home form has been good, but we've got to make sure it's a a successful place for us in terms of 3 points. And like I say, hopefully tonight is an example that we don't need to use in future. But if we do, let's make sure that we stay composed. We recognise what we need to do, and we find a way.
Well, you mentioned away from home. We are away at the weekend down at Barnet, and you'll have played, I think, 3 or 4 games whilst Barnet have had a fortnight off. Is that an advantage for them, or in actual fact, because of the form that you're in, is it an advantage to you to be playing these games?
Yeah, we want to play as quickly as we can. We're in I suppose, a rhythm where we don't get an awful lot of training time on the pitch. It's about play, recover, which is fine. We'll take it, especially when we're winning games. So important now that the players look after themselves. We're carrying little bits, if you like, and after the weekend gives us a little sort of chance to reflect and see where we're at. But obviously Saturday's a massively important game for us. We've got ourselves on a really good run, got ourselves in a great position. We want to make sure we back that up with a tough trip to Varn at the weekend.
Scott Quigley back for the weekend or not?
Fingers crossed. He's been out on the grass today and has done some running and some striking and things like that. So he'll gradually be increased over the course of the week. Hopefully no setback in terms of in the morning. We'll see where we're at with him, but we're pretty hopeful.
I'll say it again, top of the league. Well done, Dave.
Cheers, thank you.